special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports app between the Seattle Seahawks and the Carolina Panthers. With that, let's get up to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Just a few moments ago, this building was shaking as the Carolina Panthers emerged from the tunnel here in Charlotte. They are ready to go as the Panthers are set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
On the return, it's Kenyon Barner. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Carolina's offense takes center stage, and Cam Newton will be the man under center. Tough season in 2018 for Cam. Had to deal with a lot of nagging injuries. Most notably, Charles, that shoulder problem that ultimately shut him down for the final 2 games.
Still carried the ball over 100 times last season. But guess what? Can he continue to do that is the question that everyone's asking, not just in Carolina, but around the league. He may look indestructible, but those hits add up. Can he change his game a little bit, take some of the hits off of him? Because in the first part of the season when they were 6-2, he sure looked the part, didn't he? Throwing the football and running it a little bit. We'll see how it goes moving forward in 2019.
They go play action here on first down. It's hauled in by Torrey Smith. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Check. 180.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. Dropped at the 35, but he was able to display the agility there. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Smith catches left side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy that has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And his first carry, he loses the football. But fortunately, a Panther was able to get on this, so Carolina keeps the ball. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. On 2nd down, here's Newton. Buying time to his left. Fighting to stay upright inside the 10. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
That's it. 180.
They'll run. Anderson. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the #1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
That's it. 180. 180.
They'll try the air now with Newton. And he rifles one incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And it's 3rd down. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Seventh play coming now on this opening drive. This is 3rd and goal.
That's it. 180.
Out of the gun, Newton. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Barkevious Mingo in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So the first points of the night belong to our home team as they're able to take the opening kickoff and at least get 3 points out of it.
Yeah, and that helps the crowd, right? Helps people feel good about why they're there watching this game. They moved the ball well on their opening drive.
This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. There's Russell Wilson as he brings out the rest of the Seahawks offense. And you look at the numbers this year, CD, 35 touchdown passes. That's a career high for Wilson, tied for 3rd in the NFL.
The offense continues to run through him, but he got a lot more help this year. They get back to being the Seahawks. They ran the ball effectively. They were knocked out in the 1st round by Dallas, but they have a lot to build on. You're going to have to add a few more guys out wide to help out Russell Wilson, but they look like the Seattle Seahawks that we knew before, back to playing that brand of physical football.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throws left side complete to Brandon Marshall. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. It's a big play there for Seattle. 47 yards.
I'm sorry, but it's almost unfair. I mean, Brandon Marshall can make so many plays, but even when you think he's covered,
he's not.
No, he's really not. He uncovers and makes a play on you and picks up good yardage in doing so.
Caught right side, Jerron Brown. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. And the starting defense here for the Panthers.
K'Waun Short is really rounded into being one of the best really like about his game are his hands. When he gets his hands on an opposing blocker and locks out, he's going to end up winning that battle and either getting to the quarterback or taking down a ball carrier.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Brandon Marshall, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out to kick is Janikowski. Now it's Barner. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The tension shifting back to Carolina as they come onto the field, and you talked about it earlier. They started 6-2. Everything was looking good. Then 7 losses in a row in 2018. Besides Cam Newton retooling and not maybe running as much, what else needs to happen in Carolina?
I have to start with Cam Newton and his running because they've wanted him to run the ball less in recent years. But what's that expression that Cam used? A lion's got to roar. Running the football is a part of me, and it allows him to feel like he's part of the game. Well, they've got to be more judicious about that. He just has to get healthy because he was throwing the football better than he ever had in his career. But I do think the injury changed everything for Carolina because when he couldn't make the throws necessary, it really hurt them moving the ball downfield and put a lot of pressure on their defense.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Nazir Jones coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be
trying for right, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
As Seattle makes their way back out here, Charles, let's take a little deeper dive as they go into the offseason, what they need to do. They led the NFL in rushing yards. You talked about it. They ran the football well. Where do they need to improve?
Maybe a little less.
And his first carry, he loses the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
This one complete to Devin Funchess. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now a first down throw for Newton. Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Maxwell. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Coming off the pick six, it's Newton. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next year?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
They go play action with Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. Mario Addison in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And that is incomplete. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Time for our players spotlight, and it focuses in here on Cam Newton. And I guess right now as we look at some of his struggles today, the term next play really applies here. He's got to move on.
I love where your head is on that because that's where his head needs to be, exactly what you said. Yes, there have been mistakes made, but he's got to move on and play the next play as if it didn't happen, keep his confidence up. But how about the guys on the defensive side of the ball? They've got to be feeling great about what's going on right now. They've already gotten to him a few times. They want to keep that up. Maybe they can pick off a few more.
Yeah, they disrupted already for 3 INTs. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it?
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, and they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Escaping the pressure, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. He hit him earlier in this first quarter with his arm. Now he does it with his legs.
Right now, he's one of those stat stuffers that you see on the basketball court. You know, the guy with points, rebounds, assists, steals. One with the arm, one with the legs. Let's see if he can continue this pace.
And sending out the reminder that, yeah, look, I'm known for having an arm, but I can do it with the legs on occasion when I need to. Now it's Barner. He'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one, much more like lead.
They'll buy some time right. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Here's Newton. Rolling to his right. Funches with a catch over the middle. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A really nice gain of 25 yards. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. We're back to Uptown Charlotte after this timeout. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space?
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Barkevious Mingo in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
And that'll be caught. Touchdown Panthers. Olsen. Greg Olsen. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer. And Mantro, talking about singing something in there. Those gloves, they help. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Extra point try, good by Gano. And it makes the score 21-10. Gano out to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. He got 29 yards that time. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
To throw again is Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
On the crossing route, complete. Brad Smith. A good pickup there, a 22. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Now Newton on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. An exciting week with a divisional round coming up on the NFC side of things, Charles. Dallas at L.A., the Rams. Philadelphia at New Orleans. What do you think?
Well, I can't wait because Dallas at the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams feel like they've gotten their mojo.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Nazir Jones in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. Here's Newton. And the pressure gets to him again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Palardy now on to punt as he sends this one away. Now it's Lockett. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Panthers defense as they get set to go again. And with this deficit, let's be honest, it's time for them to get a stop.
And partners, you understand very well from our time together and visiting with coaches, defensive coordinators tend to be a little more emotional, a little more high-strung than others.
They are.
I have a feeling that speech came out about taking a stand and bowing up in this possession.
Yeah, that's where this word pride comes out, right?
In a big way.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
He finds his man, Baldwin. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 1st down, Seahawks, Wilson to Baldwin.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Marshall. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Following the fumble recovery, Newton. It's caught by Funchess. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They go play action here on 1st down. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? They sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
Hey, get right down. Get right there. Hey.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now Newton. Hard throw, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here we go on fourth. Newton. And that is going to be incomplete. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Now that we sit in the postseason, let's talk about some of these awards we've been hitting on all year, Charles. MVP, what do you think?
Well, I think it's going to come down to Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback at Kansas City, Drew Brees, quarterback New Orleans, and Aaron Donald, the defensive tackle for Los Angeles Rams. I ultimately think that Mahomes wins this award. I think he distanced himself late in the season from Brees, and it's hard for a defender to win the MVP.
Rookie of the year, Barkley, or does Mayfield have a shot?
Personally, I would give it to Barkley because he's been there all 16, but Mayfield made Cleveland relevant, put them in a position where maybe we were even talking.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Brandon Marshall, 79 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now you're...
And got his man complete. And that one results in 35 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
On first down, Newton. This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Devin Funchess, 40 yards. Lead.
As they began this last drive, things weren't exactly looking up for this offense. But after what they just did, putting...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead a little bit further. And that's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them, but it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts. Not in your favor.
Out of bounds.
Run your offense out there. Put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2. But I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 40. Now it's Wilson. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Mario Addison in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.